Welcome, everybody, to Victory Circle Podcast. I'm your host, Jason Wilson. Today, we have the CEO and founder of Karmascore, Paula Panagouleas Miller. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. So, Paula, you have a fascinating origin of your family, and we just had a short conversation about Greece. And okay, so what city are you from in Greece?
So my father was actually born in Greece, but it's 45 minutes outside of Kalamata, and then 10 minutes outside of that specific place. So it's Prastion, and then 10 minutes out, it's called Nil Prastion, so New Prastion. And yeah, that's where my father was born, and my family. I still have lots of cousins. My aunt is still there, so
Nice.
lots and
So,
lots.
so what did your parents do in Greece?
So my great grandmother was actually a doctor. And then her, my grandmother, who's my father's mother, she did some work, during World War II. And then after that, my father, he did a variety of jobs. One of the things he did was he used to rip down the insides of hotels and build them back up, and then he transitioned that into real estate. So my father's also a CEO.
Interesting. Okay. So
Yes.
you come from the lineage of Spartans. Tell us about that.
So with that, there's really I think, a high expectation for any Greek to live up to being Greek and to represent our culture in the best way possible. When I was 5 years old, my father visited Harvard. He was doing the Boston a hotel in Boston, and he brought this shirt back, and it said Harvard on it. And he's like, "This is where I want you to go to school." So the expectation was always really high, and a really poignant moment was when I graduated from Harvard. We stayed in the hotel that that he had redone, where he bought the shirt, and so it was a really special thing. So that's what being Greek means to me, is just that tenacity. You look, I look at the things that my ancestors did, and I say, wow, that took guts, that took courage. That's what I aspire to be. My grandmother came with a note pinned to her chest, couldn't speak the language, even though, she faced all this adversity and all this hardship. And, just her tenacity, her courage is what inspires me to, it's like, I speak the language. I, I have all these advantages. I was fortunate enough to have wonderful education, great mentors. And, you know, I'm gonna take the opportunities that the people that were so hardworking and tenacious and courageous, laid out for me.
That's phenomenal. So then what was your major in university?
Oh, so I have a lot. I've got more degrees than Fahrenheit. Okay, whole segment on this. So for my undergraduate, I went to the University of Dayton, and I doubled in finance and international business. I then went on to get an MBA from Tiffin University, and I focused on leadership. And then I got my second master's degree from Harvard University with a focus in environmental sustainability and management. I worked in finance for a decade. I did mergers and acquisitions. I did corporate treasury, banking. I did the whole gambit. So
Wow. Okay, so then how did you get the idea for Karmascore?
So I'm a serial entrepreneur, and I've started and run several companies. But the idea for Karmascore actually came on a walk with my husband. We were talking about the events of the day, and one of my friends was going through a really bad breakup. And I was talking to my husband about it. She's a smart, successful woman, and she is incredibly talented. And I was just like, how did she get involved with this loser to begin with? And I couldn't believe that he had cheated on her. It was this whole thing. And we were talking, and she had actually helped pay for him to go to school, like, a lot, right? So I was talking to my husband and he was like, oh my goodness, all that money she spent on this guy. And I said, money? I'm like, she can't get the 5 years of her life back.
Right.
So we were talking about the time and we were just going back and forth and like, just talking about the situation. And I was like, well, I think there should have been some red flags, right? Because we've all had relationships where, you know, red flag, red
Yeah,
flag, red flag, right?
absolutely.
Um, so we were talking and I was like, I bet there should be an app that says like, your relationships are healthy or they're not healthy or that they're going in a certain direction. And it was just really this watershed moment where we were like, we were talking and I was like, I think there's a way we could help a lot of people. And that's when Karmascore was born. Really just a conversation with my husband.
Wow, that's fascinating. Okay, so how long did you do this? How long ago?
So we started right before the pandemic and there was delays and everything with obviously people getting COVID, which was horrible. And then we made the app, and then I was like, I don't like the look or the design of the. It's not as user friendly because we've got some feedback, and so then we redid it, and then we just launched our latest version a few days ago. So, we're taking feedback. We're actively, making our product as user friendly and as, you know, so that people really, like and enjoy our product and that it helps them. That's our goal.
Okay, so it helps you to assess your relationships to find out, where you should be spending the majority of your time with these people. But are there other aspects of your relationships that it helps?
So it's a relationship analytics. So it helps you manage your relationship roster, right? So we think most people will use it for dating because that's the obvious, right? But I mean, not all people have like issues with their dating. They could have like that one squirrely, coworker. I mean, they could have an overbearing mother, overbearing father. They could have, I have some wonky cousins.
Does that work for in-laws too?
Oh yes. Karma score. But I can't say too much because she is here. The Our nanny called off and she came in and is watching our little boy. So my husband and my child, but yes, so that's so she her karma score went up. So
Okay, that's great.
but yes, in-laws definitely have it.
That's great. So, speaking of the pandemic, Paula, a lot of people
Mhm.
had a lot of trouble with mental health issues. Is that another area that the app can help you in?
You can. So well, the first relationship we want you to start is with yourself, right? Because to that own self be true. The relationship you have with yourself and knowing yourself is one of the most important relationships you can have in your life. And so, like, you can have that daily log of like, how am I feeling today and what's causing my intrepidation or my anxiety or my depression. You can actually log like how you're feeling every day, not just the relationships that you have with other people, but you can put that, those relationships, like how does this relationship make me feel? So it's very personal. And like if you do want to say, oh, hey, my husband got 100 karma points because he cooked me dinner and did the dishes, you can put that out there. But if you want to keep things private, then by all means keep it private because but if say you have like a fun memory with like a group of people but you don't want that to appear anywhere but you still want to remember it, say you went gaming all night with the guys, but then you missed work the next day, so you can put that in karma score and only you and your little friends can see it. So you have that, and like I have two children, and you said you have children. There's things that you are so proud of your kids about, but you don't necessarily want to put on Facebook. But doesn't mean you don't want to remember. But like, and things that are funny or like significant to myself and my significant other, my husband, like there's things I'll put in Karma Score, but that's not really Facebook appropriate. But like, it's a little funny inside joke between the two of us. So yeah, I mean, I think
Wow.
I think I'm on a tangent.
Well, no, this is great because, just in everyday life, you have situations with people that you encounter. And you don't always remember those situations, especially like with a boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, or wife. And to actually
Mhm.
catalog this and give you a score, I mean, that's phenomenal.
Well, and it's interpersonal. It's for you. It's how you feel about the situation, right? Because how I feel about something and how my husband may feel about something are two totally, different things. Like how I may react to something is going to be different than how he's going to react, or how I'm going to feel about a memory is going to be different than how he feels about it. And so seeing where they line up, or there's, a disconnect, and then it opens lines for communication. Because how I feel about a situation isn't going to be how you feel about a situation. We could have two totally different perspectives, and that's the great part, is seeing like, okay, where do I feel this way, where do you feel this way, and how do we feel about this together? So
Okay, so then you recommend that if you are in a marriage or a relationship, that both people in that relationship have the app so that you
oh,
can compare notes.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I put a lot of stuff with my children in Karmascore, ups and downs uh of parenting, which if you have kids, but yeah, I mean it. And then if you continually log something, you're like, I'm going to bring this to your attention, or oh, that funny thing that we did together, or that funny memory, that inside joke that's just between the two of us, and then, or even like if you meet somebody new, and if you say you meet me and I talk about my Greekness, right? Because being Greek's really important. You can put that in your notes. And so the next time we talk, it's like, oh, hey, I can talk about anything Greek, and Paula will have a conversation with me about it. So, it helps you like facilitate those relationships. Because if, say, you have a client that you only speak to, every 6 months or something, and then you say like Greek, Paula's going to be like, go.
That's interesting.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's talk about the marketing of your company. How do you market your app?
So we've created a totally new space, completely new. It is not a concept that is is done before. I mean, they've had journaling apps, and they have apps that will help you talk to a partner or whatever, but nobody has said this space exists. It's we're really, like, to use like a sports analogy. I know we were talking about sports before. To use a sports analogy, it's really like what statistics, stats did for baseball. That's really what this is like. It is a totally new field, and once you understand it, it's like, how has this never been invented? Right? So
Right.
people get it instantly once you talk about it. They'd say like, "Oh my goodness, this is the thing I need in my life." And it's like, I know, this is the thing I've always needed in my. I was like, how has no one come up with this yet? Right? It seems so intuitive,
Right.
but we did. We talking to people about it. Get word of mouth's been really great. And then I take every feedback that someone says, like, I take it seriously. I consider it. I talk to my team about it. We actually care that we are giving people a product that will help them, because we really believe that this will revolutionize relationships. Having the ability at the touch of your finger to say, like, over the last 6 months, this has happened, or, last week, I noticed this on this day or that day with these people, or like, this is a toxic pattern with this boss, or, I feel so empowered because I talked to this one person. Like, there are people who are energy drainers. There are people who will take that life force from you. And then the contrast, there are people that, like, one of my team members, she's like, every time I talk to you, I feel like you're like the human equivalent of a Red Bull. So she's like, you just bring. You get that? I don't know.
Yeah, I get the same.
So there's, so you log that, like, this is how I felt after interacting with this person. This is what my feelings are. This is what this is how, like, engaged I felt, or you know
Awesome. Paula, thank you so much for being on the show. How can people find you? How can people find the app?
Okay, so we are available on the Google Play Store as well as on Apple. So we're for both iOS and Android. They can download it on the stores, and then also follow us on, like, we are on every single social media platform. We have it all. So Twitter, we're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we are on YouTube. So every social media platform we are available for download on the App Store. And yeah, and LinkedIn. Obviously, we found each other via LinkedIn. So um, definitely follow us and we'll keep you updated. And if you message me or want to connect with me, I will connect with anyone. That's I am all for that. And if you have questions about Karmascore, or you want a feature, or you just want to mention Karmascore, I will respond. I will happily respond directly to anyone who has any questions about it.
Oh, that's wonderful. I mean, not too many CEOs say anything like that. They would just rather their team get in touch with people.
No, I am boots on the ground. I will talk to anyone who has an issue with Karma Score, or anyone who loves it, anyone who wants to talk about it. They will go directly to me. Like I have people who would message me and say like, hey, I really love this, or hey, did you consider that? And I respond to them directly. In fact, if people send the info that goes directly to me, I'll read every single email for Karma Score. So it's not a situation where, oh, you're gonna get. No, I will directly look at that,
Oh, that's
because
phenomenal.
I care about the feedback. I care about making a product that people will use, enjoy, and will better their life. So yeah, it's boots on the ground.
That's awesome. And you're awesome, Paula. Thank you so much for being on the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you so much. Take care.
Take care.
Thank you for watching Victory Circle Podcast. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel.